Right, Niall Hendy here, doing something new, and I'm very, very honoured to have a good friend and a great Gory man with me, Malcolm Byrne.
Hi Niall, thanks for having a chance to come out and run with you today.
You might have to carry me, yeah?
No, not at all. Nice and gentle run. It's great. We're here in the town park in Gorey, which is a fantastic amenity, and it's being used, as you know, more and more regularly. So for anyone who's running, it's just a great resource. I'm often here every Saturday morning with the park run that takes place here in Gorey. But I've always found, for me, running, it's not just for your physical health, it's great to clear the head and for a good mind space.
Yeah, Malcolm, man, as a proud Gory man, I know the amount of work you do in the town, but can you maybe tell us why you find running so good for your mental health, and point out a little bit about your journey so far?
Well, look, like yourself, Niall, I love Gorey. I love this community. North Wexford's a wonderful place to live. But when you're involved in politics, you know, there's a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah.
You're trying to deal with local matters, you're trying to deal with national matters. And I think, you know, different to any other job, you need some outlet to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
So for my mind, I mean, I love the theatre, I love music. But in terms of, you know, clearing your headspace, going out for a run is nothing better. And I mean, sport it's a great way to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like we've lots of great sports clubs around North Wexford, but I think, and you know yourself, if a young person is interested in anything, encourage them to get involved.
Exactly.
Because you learn so many skills you can't learn in a formal education system. So things like teamwork, being able to accept sometimes you mightn't meet your goals that you set out, and it just makes you more determined to go for them again. But particularly something like, you know, when you're under a bit of pressure, there's nothing better. Stick on a pair of runners, go out and hit the roads.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point you made there as well, but about sometimes not reaching our target. I know you've had many setbacks. Myself boxing, excuse me, I'm free, but myself and boxing, I had loads of setbacks, and I think it's really important that, you know, well, lads, young people learn that a setback isn't fatal.
Yeah, well, politically, you know, I always think you learn more from elections you lose than elections you win. Sometimes you learn more about yourself. And even in day-to-day political work, you don't achieve everything you want to achieve. You don't get...
Hello.
You don't achieve things overnight. Now, don't get me wrong, there's good days. There's days when, you know, for me, you're able to impact on national policy and national legislation, or you're able to help out somebody locally, or you're able to help in the delivery of a local facility like the town park here.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that makes you really proud. But there's other stuff you get involved in and it doesn't work out, or you make mistakes, or you get things wrong, and you got to learn from that. But it's, you know, it's how you cope with all these things. Life is full of ups and downs, and it doesn't matter whether you're in politics or business or sport. You got to find your own coping mechanism to be able to deal with that. And certainly for me, running is a really important part of that. As I'm getting older and slower.
Thankfully.
Well, I certainly know when I'm marathon running, the Kenyans and Ethiopians never have anything to worry about if they see me turning up. I mean, I just marvel at you know, some of those athletes. But like for me, running is a great sport because you have people of all ages and backgrounds who can get involved. It's relatively cheap. All you need to do is get a decent pair of runners, and you can get out. But it's I certainly know, you know, even if I'm in a really bad mood, even just going out for a short run, you'll come back here, the adrenaline will be pumping.
Yeah.
And it's even better for decision-making processes that you have something that you can, you've been able to do. I mean, I love the park run here in Gorey because, you know, there's a real community there. You have people who run, who walk, but it's all that, just that idea of getting out and
look at how
doing
beautiful it
something.
is. Unbelievable.
Not the nicest weather, but sometimes coming out in a light rain for a run is as good.
Hello.
Is as good a sign as anything else, you know.
Malcolm, so I've known you, well, I'm 40, so I've known you the mainstay of my life, but and your family. Knowing your mum and dad very well, your brother and your sisters. There's a massive part of your family life has always been to help other people, I think.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, my parents were always very involved in things in Gorey, and you know, as kids growing up, Mum and Dad always encouraged us to get involved. And I think, you know, it's important. We're all part of a community. If you think about all the good things that happen in Gorey and around North Westford, it's all because people are willing to volunteer, to get involved, to roll up their sleeves. And like I just think, you know, the Market House Festival that happens every year, which is built on the summer fair and built on, you know, the Funge Arts Festival. You know, that's mostly volunteers who are all involved. One thing I love about that is it's a sense of bringing a load of community together. It's about bringing a huge community of people together, because in bringing everyone together like that and celebrating that, we kind of say, you know, hey, this is a great place to live. But yeah, you know, getting involved is a good thing to do.
Yeah. And would you find that, and I think for a lot of people that are maybe nervous about joining groups or helping out volunteering, because it can be daunting, you get far more from it than you'll ever know, don't you?
You will. And look, I always know the first time you show up at a meeting where they're looking for help, and especially if you don't know anyone in the room, it can be nerve-wracking. But you find nearly every group, they're always going to be welcoming of somebody who wants to get involved. And especially, you know, you mightn't be very good sitting on the committee, but you could be really good at helping training people who are involved, or you might be good at fundraising. So committees are always looking for new people. But, you know, don't discount that sense of working as part of a group to achieve something. Yeah. Because, you know yourself now, when you organise something, when it works well, you know, there is that sense of, yes, I've been involved in that, I've worked as part of a group to achieve it. And if it doesn't work perfectly, if it doesn't work perfectly, what you can always do is you can always learn from the experience. And the next time you go ahead and organise it, well, we can make improvements.
Brilliant. And what do you think, like, what do you think would have been your major learning points to this day, to now?
I think, you know, over time I've come to realise more and more, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, sometimes I know different things I've been involved in, and I gotta wonder whether it's because of pride or, you know, because you feel, yes, I can do it. Sometimes I make the mistake thinking I can do it on my own. You can't, you know. I generally ask people for help. Most people are willing to do so. I often thought, so sitting as a senator now, like one of the interesting things that I do is I regularly take interns, young people at second level, but more often at third level. They just want to come and work with me for a few weeks or a few months and shadow me. And why I think that's really important is for those of us who are in positions of responsibility to be able to share our experiences. That, you know, those who are coming up get to learn. I hope they sometimes do say to me, would you not try something different? Because we can all learn. It's very important if you are successful that you don't pull the ladder up behind you.
Yeah.
That you're there to be able to help others afterwards. So
Well, I'm
I
very
think that
confident.
constant mentorship is really important, you know.
Very conscious not to interrupt you, but I'm very confident that you learned that from unbelievable parents.
Oh yeah, I know. I love my mum and dad. They've always been very supportive and encouraging. My mum never wanted me to go into politics,
Yeah.
but they both see the difference, you know, that it can make. And you know, Ireland has, don't get me wrong, Ireland has problems, but it is to be able to live in a free, open, liberal democracy. It's super, you know. We have a lot of positives going on, so and we should appreciate that.
Yeah, and what I find strange at times is that probably our age group, a little bit older, we're very quick to give out about young people, but I would be of the opinion that we never had to deal with as much as young people do at the moment. So if there's a 16-year-old maybe struggling with his identity, maybe struggling with social media, have you any advice that you pass on to that young person?
Well, I would think we can learn a lot. Older generations can learn a lot from younger people, in the same way that younger people can learn from older generations. I always think when you struggle, we all have good days and bad days. I mean, I know I struggled with my identity for a while. Simplest message is, it gets better. You just got to keep believing it gets better. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Your friends, your family, people who are out there are always going to be willing to say, you know, you okay, what can I do? Remember, we all have good days and bad days. You know, you're going to be on top of the world, you're going to have achieved something, whether it's in sport or politics or business. Very quickly, that could come, you know, just come crashing down. So, you know, my sense is, you know, just keep believing in yourself. And I do think, you know, for a lot of young people today, particularly given the last few years where, you know, yes, COVID had a big impact on all of our lives, but particularly on young people because they missed so many of those formative experiences, you know. Kids who never got to do their leaving cert, or, you know, they missed out on their 18th, their 21st birthdays, or their first holiday away with their friends. You know, really, things, you know, when we were growing up,
Or normal.
you know, we just took it all for granted. And so we had a few years where that was all taken away. And the resilience shown by young people there was, you know, amazing. And I know when I'm, you know, whether I'm in schools or youth groups or whatever, and talking to groups of young people, and you hear some of the ideas and people's dreams, and also the challenges, and rightly, young people should be challenging people like me in politics. Like that actually fills me with a lot of encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, you're not, no matter what you do, you're going to have good days and bad days.
Fact.
Yeah.
And just to make you aware, I'm very unfit. Malcolm's not.
No,
But he is absolutely smothering with his horse. And I promise you, he's going to feel way better after this run.
Yeah. No, it is true. It is true.
And a bit of boxer's mentality now, but the only workout you ever regret is the one you don't do.
Yeah, no. I mean, the hardest, I find it running, the hardest thing to do is lacing up your boots.
Yeah, to start.
You can be sitting on the couch at home and going, oh yeah, I'll do it in a half an hour, I'll do it in an hour. Let's get out there. Because once you've taken the first few steps, then after that it becomes a hell of a lot easier.
And Malcolm, for me, as I suppose the founder of NBK Survival Training, to speak to you, I could speak to any day because you're such a friendly, kind man with your time and you're brilliant in this town. But for me, it's been a massive honour to have this talk with you, especially while having a run, even though I could do it a tour up. But I really appreciate it, so thanks a million.
No, thanks a Niall, and yeah, just all I'd say to people is encourage as many people if they think running or whatever activity is good for their headspace to get out and do it. I know the work that you're doing around encouraging positive mental health, it's really important. You know, and often when we think about our mental health, we sometimes focus a little bit too much on the negative side of things. There's a lot of positive things we can do as well. We all face challenges. You know, it's a bit of a cliche, but you know, sometimes the people with the biggest smiles on their faces are the ones who are going through
Carrying the heaviest burden.
Yeah, and so you never know what's going through somebody's head, so never make that assumption. And I know that in politics, dealing with people on a one-to-one basis, you know, we deal with people from all backgrounds, all walks of life, and sometimes things really do surprise you. So, you know, we're all part of that bigger community. At times we'll all have problems. Reach out for help and be willing to help.
And I think, for me personally anyway, I think we're very quick to forget how kind people are.
Yeah.
But like what you said, and I've said it a lot, I know for a fact I wouldn't have been here only for my family doctor.
Yeah.
So, both for people to be kind to you and to access that help, you have to ask for that help.
Yeah.
So,
never be afraid. I mean, I've always believed 97, 98% of people are decent. But you're always going to get a handful of people who, yeah, let's not say what I might call them, but you know, the overwhelming majority of people are always going to say, yeah, how can I help? What can I do? Sometimes the hardest step is just to ask them for that.
Well, Malcolm from MBK, I really appreciate the run. I stopped there, not him. But thanks a million. And any last bits of advice for any individuals, not young, any age, because we all struggle.
We all do. We all have our ups and downs. We've good days, we've bad days. But remember, we're part of a bigger community, whether it's the town or you know the wider area in which we live, or the things that we're involved in. And our community loves us. So don't be afraid to get involved, or to ask for help, or to give help.
Thanks a million. Malcolm Byrne, legend, gory legend.